friends, welcome back to Food Prep Guide. Happy New Year. I cannot believe it is 2024 already. I absolutely love this time of year. I'm a planner person, I'm a goals person. I like to map things out and reverse engineer task lists. I love notebooks and organization. So this time of year is one of my favorite times of years because it's okay to be a little crazy about organization this time of year. So I fit right in. So this year, well, this time of year is also pantry challenge time. If you are new to the pantry challenge and wondering what in the world am I talking about, Jessica from Three Rivers Homestead she's done a pantry challenge every year for the last many years in January and the month of February, where she doesn't go to the grocery store for those 2 months and only eats what they have on hand. And she opened it up to other bloggers and YouTubers and just you at home to join her and save some money, learn all the valuable lessons that come from doing pantry challenges. And we participated last year, was our first year that we participated. We had a lot of fun, and what we did was we basically filmed all of our dinner meals or our supper meals, and we brought you each of those meals, and they were mostly using shelf-stable pantry ingredients. We did use a few perishables, but when we ran out, we didn't have anything perishable like any dairy, fresh produce, and we showed you how to be cooking meals from the pantry. So we learned a lot last year, and what I realized this year when we were thinking about doing the pantry challenge again, I realized we've already shown you all of the meals that we eat on a regular basis for pantry challenge meals when we don't go to the grocery store for a month, because that's the normal for us. We only go grocery shopping once a month, and sometimes even can stretch that out to 6 weeks. So once or not going to the grocery store for a month is like our normal. And I felt like if we just showed you our supper meals, we would just be showing you the exact same thing that we already have here on YouTube that you can find already. We have a pantry meal challenge playlist where you can find all of those meals. So this year, we thought we would do more of a behind the scenes type peek at pantry challenges. A lot of pre-planning goes into pantry challenges to making it possible to not go to the grocery store in a month, and even sometimes 2 months. And I thought we would give you all a peek into what are the types of tasks and to-dos and things like that that go into being able to only grocery shop once a month. So I have a notebook here, and I wrote down just a lot of ideas that I know allow me to not go to the grocery store very much, but also some ideas that I wrote down last year that I learned from the pantry challenge last year. And I wanted to give you a sneak peek at what you can expect this coming month as far as videos from us here on Food Prep Guide. So one of the things that we learned last year was we ran out of butter pretty quickly. And because we were doing that pantry challenge, we didn't go to the grocery store. And I have been mulling over that all year. How can I reduce how much butter that we need, or find an alternative to that butter so that when we run out, it's not such a big deal? So the common alternative to butter is ghee, which is shelf-stable butter, which has just basically been processed with all of the butter fats skimmed out. But our family doesn't love it. It doesn't taste the greatest, and it's expensive. And one of the things that allows us to only grocery shop once a month is keeping that grocery budget down as absolutely low as possible. And the price of ghee just doesn't fit into that budget. So I have been researching all the remainder of 2023 about butter alternatives, and what I have come to the conclusion is that we need to render lard. Lard is going to be like pig fat, beef fat. Normally when you're talking about lard, it's mostly pig fat. Now I have researched this thoroughly. I am convinced that animal fats are going to be used in moderation, are better for you than processed oils. Your like canola oil, vegetable oil, all of your products with the partially hydrogenated oils, those types of things. There are absolutely healthy plant oils like avocado and coconut, but again, they're expensive. And if we are using the lard only for what we would use butter for, which is, for supper meals, I'm thinking mostly sauteing our vegetables in and stuff like that. And I could absolutely use lard in place of that. So I've been learning and watching videos and reading tutorials and all of that about rendering lard, and I finally found a local source. We're going to make that happen this month. We're going to show you how to render lard and how to use that, and talk about how to use that in place of butter for when you run out during a pantry challenge or something like that. So another video that we're going to be doing is, I realized last year that we used a lot of dehydrated vegetables whenever our fresh produce would run out, and that's actually true every single month. Whenever our fresh produce runs out, we use that first since it is perishable. Whenever it runs out, usually around week 3, we switch to using our dehydrated foods. So I thought we would show you how to rehydrate dehydrated foods and talk about cooking with those foods on a regular basis, so it's not just a pantry challenge thing, but can actually become like a regular weekly meal plan type thing. Another video is canned potatoes and using canned potatoes all different ways. That was another thing that I've learned in our regular monthly meal plans, is that we use a lot of potatoes. Potatoes can be preserved so many different ways, and they are just so useful for stretching a pantry budget and not having to go to the grocery store as much. But at the same time, I think I know me personally, when I used to look at a can of potatoes, the only thing I saw was chunked potatoes in stew. I didn't think about any other ways that can of potatoes could be used. And I don't know if any other of you out there kind of feel the same way about potatoes, like it only has 1 or 2 uses, but I have since learned and practiced and all kinds of things that potatoes can do. So I want to bring you like an all things canned potatoes video about using it all different ways. So that's another thing that we're going to do as part of this pantry challenge behind the scenes look. Another thing that goes into a pantry challenge for us is baking all of our bread products, whereas normally I would prefer the convenience of just buying it at the store. It's not, you know, a loaf of bread is not expensive and it saves me so much time, so I just go ahead and buy it at the store. But as part of the pantry challenge, we're going to be baking our bread for the whole month here at home, and so we wanted to show you that too. That's a big thing that goes into pantry challenges, is doing all of the baking at home instead of buying those things at the store. Okay, another thing, let's see. Oh yeah, so we do want to still show you the pantry meals that you can cook from your pantry as part of this pantry challenge, but instead of cooking each individual meal and dedicating like one whole video to that meal, we're going to do more of a video montage and show you like 6 to 7 meals that you can make from your pantry, and kind of just give you some tips and ideas with a video montage of that, and make that one video instead. We're going to plan and hope for doing one of those weekly so that we can show you like a week's worth of meals in one video. So by the end of the month, hopefully we'll have about 4 of those video montage type videos, but that's the plan. I don't know if it's going to be able to be executed 100% perfectly because life, but that's the plan. So I hope y'all will join us for the pantry challenge this year. There are so many wonderful channels participating. Be sure to search the hashtag 3 Rivers Challenge on YouTube and look at all of the amazing channels who are putting out valuable content and helpful content showing us how to cook from the pantry. And we'll be participating as well, giving you more of a behind the scenes type look at everything that goes into a pantry challenge. One thing that kind of took me off guard when the very first time I ever did a pantry challenge, and it wasn't for YouTube, I did it years ago before I even knew like an official pantry challenge existed, and I learned a lot about there's a lot that needs to go into being able to not go to the grocery store. I have to bake all my bread, and I have to plan for that. I have to use preserves and dehydrated foods and canned foods, and I have to dehydrate those foods and can those foods in order to be able to use them. So just a lot of planning goes into pantry challenges, and I want to give y'all a sneak peek behind the scenes kind of look that goes into that. So I hope y'all are as excited as we are, and we will see you on the next video. I think we'll probably do the rendering lard first because I am very low on butter and I'm not going to go to the store and buy any more. And I got my hands on some. It's in the freezer, so I think we'll probably do that one first. So keep a lookout for that video. Okay, we'll see y'all next time. Bye.